So today is the day that we start a new soap series that I have been talking about and that I will be using all of the soap dough, gave you that recipe a couple weeks ago, on. And it's going to be a wild one because it just kind of is. And I will tell you more about the new soap series and all of the things in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 304 of 365 days of soap, and today we are starting a Nailed It challenge. And I literally mean a nailed it challenge, not like look at somebody else's soap and try to nail it like the design and soap form. I mean literally the episodes of Nailed It from Netflix, picking things that they did, the bakers did in the Netflix show, and try to recreate it in soap dough and see if I can nail it. This is actually kind of hard to explain. First up is a donut pirate from one of the earlier episodes, I think, and it's interesting. And again, everything in this will be made out of soap or soap dough, and so it's a multi-day process, multi-pour thing. But with all the challenges, I also want to give myself like a time, like you have a time crunch on it, you get it, to see if, you know, I can perform under pressure. So let's get to the video, to the kickoff of the Nailed It series, soap series, and see if I can find a better way to explain all of this, you know, there. It's the Nailed It edition. I am so excited for this. Now, just so you know, I made a batch, like a 3-pound batch of soap, and used it for the base of multiple Nailed It, you know, challenges. So I'm not going to show you the entire process of like making the cold process or whatever for every single one of them because it's the exact same video. But for this, I measured out about 4 ounces of soap. Turned out it was way too much, and colored it with, what color did I use? Matte Gold from Mad Micas. And am going to use my donut silicone molds because I happen to have those guys. If I didn't have those guys, I probably would make a circular soap and stab a hole in the middle with something and then proceed. So that's what we're rolling with. And now is going to be up to this is what it looks like. Ta-da! It's all done. Yay. And I've got my soap dough out. Soap dough is fun. It's going to be very, very necessary for a lot of these challenges, really. But that makes sense, right? The show Nailed It. Fondant is freaking necessary. Like, you can't do 95% of their challenges without massive amounts of fondant. And that kind of sucks because I don't like the taste of fondant. So like, while a cake may be pretty, sure, if I don't get to eat the frosting, I'm annoyed. I'm one of those, like, I want a half of a inch of frosting, you know, at the top of my cake in order for me to be happy. And so if I have to just eat the cake part, I'm not going to like it. But yeah, lots of fondant, lots of soap dough. And I'm just kind of mulling it about in my fingertips here to make a circle-ish. And then I am gonna cut it with that red Solo cup, because that's what I had. Could I have rolled this out? Yeah, absolutely, I could have. But my rolling pin was on the other side of the counter in, a box, and I didn't want to. So I just did this. And I'm learning that it's hard to get things super thin when you're just trying to make them thin with just your fingers. So fun. And the soap itself, the cold process soap, it's only about a day old. And so it's pretty soft. So I can totally push the soap dough into it to make it adhere. But also, if you are dealing with a harder soap or whatever, you can spritz the top with rubbing alcohol, spritz the soap dough with rubbing alcohol. In both cases, the soap loosens up, and you can then adhere and attach things. So that's fun. And now on to this eyeball. It's an eyeball. This is all wild. You guys have seen the show Nailed It, right? This is like Soap and Clay Kidlet #2's most favorite show in the world. And so it's always playing. Every few months, she just goes on a new binge of Nailed It and rewatches all of the old seasons and stuff. And I, sometimes join her with these, and I'll sit down and watch these things with her. That's my mouth. All of this is too thick. Step 1. Get out your rolling pin next time. I'm learning so much. But yeah, they're fun little shows. I love food challenge shows just in general. And Nailed It, I think, was right up my alley, because I am not artistic in any way, shape, or form. I'm not good at any of this. So yeah, if I have a bad one, well, that makes sense, because that's like the whole point of the show. They're all bad, right? So yay, they all failed. Now I have this little silicone mold in the shape of a feather, and there is a feather in this pirate's cap. And so I thought I would just do about half of it, because I don't need that full size of a feather. So I thought I would just use about half of the, pressed soap dough that I've put into the silicone, that I also probably should have, put some cornstarch or baking soda down into before proceeding, so it didn't stick. I know that now. And for this guy, I'm going to fashion a hat out of the back end of a tablespoon, a very, very round tablespoon. And oh, look, there's an eye. Oh, I'm getting so much closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Yeah, no. Also, where's my, yep, there you go. That's a necessity in all of this. I learned through this process. And I'm just gonna, mold it around the roundy bit to create the hat, and then figure out how to make the little things in the hat. That actually took longer than I thought. It was very confusing. Yeah, the brim, the rim, the thing. Yeah, but pirate hat. There it is. It's cool. Let's move on to the rest. Now, this guy has a really menacing face to him. Like, his mouth is like, arr, I'm a pirate, right? And he's like doing the little gritty teeth thing. And he's got some gold teeth in there too. And it's all lined with black fondant. And so, I'm lining mine with black soap fondant. And then putting in the little gritty teeth thing. And so that works too. And yeah, that actually wasn't a terrible process. And, just trying to trim out these overly thick pieces of soap. I did not get, none of this is thin enough. None of it's thin enough. What I need is a soap or a clay flattener thing. Something even more than a rolling pin, really. Because look, I found my rolling pin. There it is. And also he's got a hook. And so I just used a piece of, a piping tip to create the shape. And then I'm just going to cut it out with my handy dandy dental stick, probably. It's not a dental stick. It actually is for clay, but it looks like a dental stick, doesn't it? I think it's funny. And yeah, then I'm going to put it on and do the things. I love how this this nailed it is like just improvising with what you have in your area, while the actual show nailed it has every possible thing you could ever need to create these designs at your disposal. So that's also really fun for me too. But now let's move on to the final piece of this and call this guy good. Okay, and one of the last stages is Das Boots, and Das Boots were actually pretty easy because I just made a circle and then I shoved it on and, you know, smooshed it in. And you can use all those little clay tools that all have specific purposes, but I don't know what those specific purposes are. I just got them out. And sometimes I use them, but mostly I don't. And just kind of shape them to sort of maybe look like feet and hope that they stay on, because it's, you know, that's the biggest thing. You don't want anything to fall off, right? And then I'm just taking little teeny tiny pieces of white to make the buckles on Das Boots, because it has buckles. I'm getting very into this. Like every single little detail I'm completely doing, and that's fun. I also said that I was timing myself with all of this. I don't know what the actual time limit was for this in the competition. Maybe I should look that up for everyone that we do moving forward. But I gave myself 30 minutes for this guy. And so I, you know, really had to make sure that it was done in 30 minutes. And that included the making of the soap. So the soap getting to trace and pouring it, but obviously not the time that it took to get firm, because that's not fair. You know what I mean? If it takes a day for something to firm up, then that day time of it firming up obviously doesn't count. It's like the Great British Bake Off when they have to do a multi-day thing because that's what the bread needs or whatever. You get it. Anyway, yep, took some mica mixed with some glycerin and some rubbing alcohol and painted everything gold. And also his hook, because it's shiny and sparkly too. And I think I actually painted this the wrong color, so I had to go back over it with silver. So that's fun. And the final thing is, this is like the actual final thing, is making sure that this hat stays on, because scary, right? You know, oh no, and the eye patch falling off and the foot fell off and oh my God. But, you know, this might be a good time to point out that, you know, this is what one of the contestants' pirates looked like at the end of all of it. So, you know what? At least mine has all of its parts mostly on and resembles a donut or maybe a pirate. And, you know, I just gotta figure out another way to make those things all stick. And that other way really is called rubbing alcohol. That's what you do, for sure. And, you know, also take those tools and sort of, I don't know, mess with them to get all of them to combine together. Kind of take the, whatever. Go look at like a sculpting clay channel for ways to actually work with sculpting clay tools. Because I don't know how. I'm just out here living my best weird, you know, life. And I can't figure out how to get this guy propped up. I don't know what to do. Where does that work? How do I finish this video? Is he gonna stay? All right, cool, that works. Oh no, he's sliding. How can I do an outro like this? He's sliding. Okay, we're just gonna pick him up. I'm gonna show you the back again, and I'm gonna show you the front, and that's it. That's day 304. Our first nailed it. It's a pirate. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know with this one. Okay, so here are some pluses, right? Like, everything stays on. The soap dough did its thing. Nothing fell off. It's all very good. And I really do like the hats. I think I did a good job on the hats. The mouth. I showed this to the Soap and Clay Kidlets, and Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2 was like, because I pulled it up on the TV and then like did a voila thing, you know, like they do on the show. And Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2 was like, he's smiling in yours and he looks mad in the one on the TV. And you know, fair point, fair point. I don't know how to do faces like at all, but I don't know. I think all things considered, that's pretty cute. I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't say that I nailed it, but I think it's not a bad start to, you know, the series. So it was fun. It was so much fun, actually. I liked this a lot. So there it is. There's number 1. And I'm so excited to do the rest of them and show you guys the rest of them and all of the things. And also learn how to, you know, properly roll out soap dough so it's thin. Anyway, it's all a learning process. And if you are interested in seeing what other, you know, things we do for Nailed It, well, you know, subscribe. You like the video, comment. It helps with the algorithm. I would appreciate that so freaking much. For the sudsers that have subscribed and like the video and comment to help with the algorithm, I appreciate you so freaking much. Thank you so much for joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. I'm out of here for today, but I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of Nailed It fun. Bye.